right, second grade friends. The last part of our self-portrait lesson is going to be our I am poem. And in an earlier video, I did talk about how to start writing the poem. And some of you may have watched that and some of you may have not. So I'm going to just do a quick little review. What you're going to do is this poem has 4 lines that repeat. And for the line that says I am, you're going to put your first and your last name, and then you're going to choose 2 words that describe you. So they would be any type of adjective that you think describes who you are. So, for example, for my example, I said, I am Heather Herbay, artistic and loving. Now, once you come up with those 2 words to describe yourself, what's going to happen is this line here, the very first line, is going to repeat again here, and here, and then finally at, that's what's going to end the poem as well, okay? So that's easy enough, right? Now, for the next 12 lines, there are prompts that will say, for example, I wonder. And earlier I talked about a wondering is something that you're curious about or that you want to know. It can be a fact or it can be something about yourself. Like, I wonder what it's like 10,000 feet under the water, right? Or I wonder what life is like on Mars. Or it can be something like, I wonder how old I will live to be. That's what I put for mine. So it can be things you wonder that are going to happen to you in the future or other type of wonderings. The next one is pretty easy. It says, I love, and you're going to put something or people or somebody, or you can put more than one person or more than one thing, but this line, it says I love, so I put I love my husband Todd and my children Ben, Sam, John, and Annie. Then the next line says I feel, and a lot of times people will just put I feel good and then they think, oh, I'm done with that line. But I want you to pick an emotion and then tell me when you feel that, right? So if you feel good, tell me when you feel good. Like, for example, I put here, I feel excited when all of my kids are home together. Or you might want to put, I feel happy when my family goes out to get ice cream together. Or I feel sad when my dad leaves for a business trip. So anything, it can be any emotion, but just then tell when you feel that emotion. Then the next line says, I dream. And it's not sort of like the dreams you have at night, but something that you dream of in the future. Whether it's something you dream of accomplishing, something you dream for the world. It's sort of like a wish, but something that you also may work to hope that it comes true, right? So I put, I dream of a world without cancer because my mom happened to have passed away from cancer. And a lot of people suffer from cancer. So I think it would be great if there was a cure for cancer. All right. Then now there are, then it's going to repeat again. I am Heather Herbay, artistic and loving. And now we have 8 more lines to fill out. The next one is I make, and that could be things that you create. It could even just be something like I make silly noises with my mouth when I'm playing in the bathtub, or whatever it is. It can be, or I make cookies with my mom, or I make paintings, or I make art, anything. I make a mess when I come in with muddy shoes and walk all over the carpet. So whatever that is, you can put here. And so I'm going to say, I make delicious food for my family. I like to cook, so that's something that I like to make. The next one is I want, and it can be something that you want. When I was growing up, I really wanted a canopy bed. I want to be a grandma someday. That's what I'm going to write. The one thing that I don't want you to put is I want $1 million or I want to be rich. We all want to have money, and but I want you to pick something a little bit more meaningful than just I want $1 million, because we know that everybody probably wants that. All right. The next line is I worry. So tell me something that you worry about. I know we were talking at school last week and a friend was saying, I worry about the COVID virus, or I worry about getting the COVID virus. But there could be other worries that you have, and you can share one of those here. I worry when one of my children feels sick. I'm going to put that down. Okay. The next one is cry. And boys might say, well, I don't cry, or it's too macho to cry. But everybody cries. And so think of a time when you cry. I cry when I watch sad movies and my family laughs at me. And there's other times when I cry, but think of something that makes you sad and when you cry. Then the last 4 lines are I have. You can tell me something that you have. I'm going to say I have a beautiful garden. The next one is I pretend. And you guys are at a perfect age for pretending things. And so you can tell me something that you pretend, or that you pretend when you play with your toys. I'm going to say I pretend I'm a famous singer. I'm horrible at singing, but sometimes I like to pretend that I'm good at it, right? I try, and you can tell me something that you try. And trying means you do it and you have to do it again, and you might have to do it again, but you want to get better, right? So you're persistent at something that you try. And I'm going to say I try to be a good teacher. Because I care about you guys, I try to constantly be working harder to become a better teacher, right? I try to be a good teacher. Then the last one is I believe. And this could be your religion, something you believe that's related to your faith, or it could just be something that you believe. I'm going to say I believe in Jesus, because I'm a Christian. But you guys might say I believe in Santa Claus, or the Tooth Fairy, or God, or whatever it is, or Allah, or whatever your religion may say, or even just anything in general. Okay? And then when you finish this, then the last line repeats again, and you are finished. So this is a really fun thing to write, and I love these because every year when I read them, I learn so much about you guys. And the poem will end up getting typed up and being also displayed with your whole entire self-portrait when it's all finished. Okay? Any questions, feel free to ask me when we have our Google Meet on Thursday. Hope you guys have a great week.